Hello and welcome to Descender. My name is Luke, also known as Tianere, and I am going to continue working on, of course, our TwinSpar web template CLI, which we did quite a bit in the previous video, having completed, well, I say completed, did a little bit of parsing. By the way, I've kind of gone ahead and finished quite a few things off, including parsing the template fields themselves. So if I run this now, we have a whole bunch of things that you haven't seen yet. We are indeed parsing correctly all of the HTML since the previous video, where I stumbled across a few problems and then I just went ahead and just built the rest of it because, why not? The reason I did that was because, well, first of all, I don't always have access to my personal computer because, of course, I work. And at work, I'm also working on this project. So naturally, I'm going to be doing things off recording. It's just the way it is, right? So I have gone ahead and completed quite a bit of this. I think this is basically done. I mean, I haven't fully tested it. It's not a complete HTML template that we're using. It's just a very simple example that we're using to parse a document, but we can see the results. So we're able to print, or we're getting a lot of these tags where we're seeing the tags of the content inside the individual tags that exist. The head tag we've extracted the body tag. It's saying these are basically pointers to addresses in memory. We've got things like head, which consists of empty tags with a little bit of text, mostly white space that we don't really care about. Obviously, I mean, that's there for, well, reasons. Um, ah, yes. One thing I didn't account for in the parser was numbers, which I should probably sort out before we continue. Um, that's missing a letter for some reason. That's supposed to say viewport, not viewpoor. Um, Interesting that I'm only just noticing this now. Um, hmm. Yeah, that's interesting for sure. Lang seems to work. Oh, that's fields. My apologies. Fields. So we're extracting template fields. If we take a look at the example TWT here, we can see we've got a bunch of fields. This is our Haxe templates, if you like. So if we go to here, this is what Haxe templates looks like. When we have the double colon followed by a field, and then followed by another set of double colons, we extract that information and put it in here. So we have these fields that we've extracted, and we're also saying where it is, following XPath rules, at least to a certain extent. It's not complete XPath rules. I haven't actually fully applied with that, but maybe I will, maybe I won't. Depends how I'm feeling. Um, so yeah, we've got field lang, name lang. We got the tag path, which is in HTML, which is here, right at the top. And then I'm I'm not sure if this text is okay. Maybe it's okay. I'm not sure. Is this bigger? I don't really know. Maybe this is a bit bigger. And let me increase the size of this actually as well, because I didn't wait. Hold on. Sorry. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see. Can we? settings. Let me just resize this so that you see what I'm actually looking at. Where's settings then? I did click on it. Where is it? Huh? Why has it stopped responding for? Oh, come on. How hard is it to bring up the settings? What is wrong with Windows? Oh my god. Seriously. I've got a really fast machine and it's this freaking slow. Honestly. Just. I do wonder sometimes about Microsoft. This is why I don't like Microsoft products, because they always make things worse. That's why I don't use GitHub anymore. Anyway, sorry about that. I had to rant. I do apologize. But anyway, so where are we looking? We're looking at size, now color schemes, rendering, actions. What I want to increase the size of our text in the console, please. Is there a way to do this? Anywhere at all? Can we just control zoom? Oh, we can do whatever. I'll do. Didn't realize you could do that. Not in settings then. Fine. Go away. No one likes you anyway. Too slow. As I was saying, so we have these fields, right? We can see them in here. So in where we have document title, this isn't actually correct. It should tag path should actually be title there. Well, actually, no. No. The reason why I say no is because we're not actually referencing the tag. We're referencing a portion of the document that is not part of the tag. It's within the bounds of a tag, or two tags in this case, technically, title and the closing title tag, but it's not actually within the tag itself, right? So that's where we differentiate that. So yeah. I knew what I was saying. Hey, so and then you see here TW body info. That's Tailwind, by the way. Not TwinSpire. Nothing to do with TwinSpire. So you might have, say, if you're building a Tailwind application, if you've ever used Tailwind, you might have a Tailwind class on the body that makes the viewport of the body, or sorry, the body, the full viewport of the document or the window. That's normally used for applications when you're building a web application. So we might use that. And that's about it really. That's what this is what we do. And then if we go into here, I don't think we see it because of how it works. But basically, if we take a look, is it possibly this? I think that's the field tag. So where we've got this variant here, this is a reference to an object in the background that it is kind of like extending tags, except in Odin there's no such thing as extending. It's kind of weird. For object-oriented programmers who know about extending from other classes, that's probably the best way to explain that to you. It's not extending in the sense that you are able to know that, say, so in this instance, if we go to HTML parser and I scroll up and I go up here to field tag, this using underscore tag, it's like extending from tag, but it's not a tag. Field tag is not a tag, it's a field tag. When we do using underscore tag, what we're doing is we're saying we have a field in this struct called underscore tag, which is a struct of tag, and the keyword using says to us that field tag will basically be populated with the members of underscore tag. So it's effectively like copying the details of the tag structure into this structure here. And here's where it's not really true object oriented style programming, because if we wanted to do any kind of downcasting or type checking and compare tags with other types of tags that extend from it, we need this member field variant that is a union representing a pointer to either a tag or field tag. We have to continually expand upon this if we wanted more types of tags, which we probably will do when we get there. We're just not there yet. So that was about 11 minutes of talking and ranting. So let's work out what we want to do next. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is fix these issues first before we continue with anything else. We've got this view poor thing. I'm not entirely sure why it's doing that. Let's double check and see what's going on there. I've also got 1.0 going on there as well. It's a bit odd. Where it's a bit weird because it's not like we're losing a bit of content here, but everything else seems fine. We're not taking into account numbers here either, which is also a bit weird because this is technically a field. I think it's to do with the parser, this parser here, where we're not actually taking into account numbers. Although I thought I incorporated that quite some time ago. I'm sure I incorporated that. We've got it here where we check to see if we're capturing a number 0 to 9. So there's no reason for it not to be captured. So why are we losing that character? I don't think it's this then. It can't be this. It's impossible to be that. Where are we failing? Let's have a look. Let's go to where are we? Okay, so I did modify this slightly earlier on when I was changing things around. Obviously there's a lot more going on here than what was going on in the previous video, so I apologize if this doesn't really make much sense to you, since it hasn't been a complete follow-up from the previous video, but I'll try my best to explain everything. Let me go to HTML operator. This is the one I'm looking for. So extract any fields in attribute value. When we do this, we're looking ahead, making sure that when we do look ahead, we check to see if there's a colon there. If not, if we're not a field, then we're going to do this. Now, the other thing that I probably don't allow for, there's the key thing as well, which is also a bit odd. And when we form keys like this, let's start with the key actually, key name, because we've also got this viewport thing going on down here. Oh no, that's not the key name, that's the value. Never mind. My bad. This might actually be an easier fix than what I think. need to work out if there's anything else going on that I'm not aware of. Where's our lang? Yeah, lang's. Lang is in HTML. That's the one. HTML. So where's our HTML? Where is it? Got it printed out somewhere. It's right at the top here. So we got lang. That's empty. So that I think it's correct because that's the only attribute that exists, and there is no value technically because that's a field. So we extract fields correctly, but we don't extract the full value from fields correctly. I feel this is a very simple fix. I just need to find out what it is. Probably doing something incorrectly somewhere. Have a look. And look. I said, I think this is where I'm going wrong. So, okay. I know what I'm doing. So I do can look, which is a local variable I've declared in escape, and I'm making it false. And the reason I do that is because I want to check to see if a colon is about to, if we've had a colon, we want to check, we want to check forwards to see if there's another colon in front of it, which is why we've got this check here. What I don't do is actually do another thing here to say, even if we can't look, but our last character was not a colon, and we're unlikely to be a field, then we should probably append value data with that rune so that we can capture it. So let's go ahead and build that and check. That should fix that issue. Have a look. Yes, that's right. So we've got the 0, we've got the T there, and the 8 there. That's fixed that issue. Was there another one I mentioned? Or was that with relation to fields? Possibly. I think that was it, right? I think that was it. Yeah, I think so. So let me just quickly commit this. So solve missing letter from attribute values. So just push that on and commit. Right. Very well. So then, next thing I'm going to do, what I would like to start doing now, well, I mean, I've got all this tracking stuff here. I was fixing some memory stuff, but I don't think you want to look at that, really. It's kind of boring. So this is all to do with making sure that I'm cleaning up my memory before the program closes, which I don't do properly, or don't do it very well, at least anyway. I do a lot of allocations to the temp allocator because it just makes things easier. But then there are other cases where we can't really do that because we need to keep things in transit, if you like. Okay, let me explain. Let's say I declare a local string in here. Do that. By default, this string is allocated on a heap. That's what Odin does in the background. Even if it's an empty string, it allocates some memory in the background. When you declare a string like this, it automatically allocates it to the heap using the default allocator. And the default allocator is our context.allocator here. That is the default allocator. It is a heap allocator. Strings are allocated on a heap automatically, unless we do something like this. Unless we did that, and then we called it something else. Or the alternative is to do strings. What's it called? Well, it's somewhere. I'm sure it's somewhere. Basically, there's multiple ways to create strings, and I don't think it's here, is it? I must be thinking of something else. Basically, it's allocated on the heap automatically. So if we're doing things like strings, for example, other primitive types are stack allocated. So you don't need to worry about those. The things like strings are heap allocated. So a lot of what I'm doing in the background, like creating local variables that are strings, I'm not properly handling where that memory is going to go later on, and I realized I needed to check that. Oops. So if I were to build this now and I run it, you will see there's a problem with it. Even it says it here. Tracking allocator error, bad free of pointer. That number says nothing to me, so it doesn't exactly help me in the grand scheme of things, but it's telling me that there's something wrong and I shouldn't be freeing memory the way I'm doing it. Where I'm doing it wrong, I have no idea, but I'm doing it somewhere. Okay, I'm going to leave that commented out for the time being. I'm not bothered about a few bytes of memory being leaked. I would be worried if it was kilobytes or even, well, especially megabytes of data. That would be a disaster. Can't be doing that. Consequences? Well, it fragments your memory. So normally operating systems these days are quite clever. They can defrag your memory fairly efficiently if it's in small chunks. And operating systems are also fairly clever at cleaning up lost memory by programs that didn't clear that memory correctly. But it's generally not good practice for programmers to just let the operating system deal with hanging memory that lingers everywhere, because that memory that memory creates effectively dead space in physical memory. So nothing can occupy that memory. Once it's stored in memory, that's it. It's complete. It's occupied. It hasn't been deleted, and the operating system doesn't know if that memory is ever going to be used at all, even if the program's been closed. So it's generally good practice to always clean up your memory. Like I say, this is just a few bytes of memory, so I'm not massively concerned about that. At least not on my computer, anyway. But if this was used by a user, by someone else, somewhere in the world, then I'd probably be a bit more concerned about clearing up that memory and making sure that their computer isn't damaged by my awful programming skills. So, there you go. So yeah, but like I say, that's something I'm going to deal with at another time. I'm not going to bore you to death. What I want to do now is start using that HTML to start building something. Now, I haven't done anything extra to this yet. Excuse me. I apologize. All we've gone and done is we've got this thing. What's going on? It's supposed to. Okay, where? Okay, we've got TWT build template. So TWT build is requiring a directory, and we go into that directory, we read a bunch of HTML files, and then we spit it back out again. That's the idea. We're not spitting it back out again. All we're doing is just taking tags, extracting it all, and then doing nothing with them. So once we've actually extracted the tags and we want to start doing stuff with it, then maybe we should start doing something with it. I'm gonna comment these out now. We know what we're doing, sort of. I know what I'm doing, I think. And we're going to generate new HTML. Well, actually, we're not generating HTML. I should probably rephrase that. We're generating a file that our Haxe TwinSpire web can use for the build macros. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Now, we don't actually have a way to link this to TwinSpire web. We do not have that yet. So maybe it would be a better idea comment now. Maybe it would be a better idea if we simply worked out, I suppose, how we're going to allow TwinSpire web to read from this. Now, I've been thinking it would probably be a JSON file. So we're going to create the structure for a JSON file from our HTML parser and put things in there. So, how am I going to do this? I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to call this file I don't know, templates Odin, something like that. I don't know. Just leave it like that for now. So that's going into our main package. We want a template config. That's going to be a struct, and that's going to contain our tags and stuff like that. Right? In fact, it's just going to take a reference to our HTML parser. I think that would be the best idea. We'll take a reference to our HTML parser. We're going to need a path to output the JSON file to. So the path is going to be a string, or okay, let's call it outputs JSON path. Make it a bit more obvious. We also need the output data. So let's do template data. This is the actual JSON structure that we want. Now, if I Initialize a new window, and we go to TwinSpire Web. Let's have a look. Oh my god, how tiny. You're not going to be able to read that. That's ridiculous. Right. In here, don't want that. We don't want this. We don't want this. Maybe we want this. Content part. So, well, yeah. I mean, we can use content part. So we would have what is effectively an array of content parts. We've already got this inside the TwinSpire web in our run macro code, which we use to extract content parts from. And we use this to generate a bunch of parts. Basically, we're generating a render code that represents the full HTML file with the fields inside. So that's this thing here. So forget all that confusing code forming it, all this macro codes, just forget what that's doing. Let's just take a look at this. A content part. What does that consist of? It consists of this bit here, up to here. That's the left part of the content. This is the key. And then this up to here is the next content part. That's the left side. This is the key. This is the next content part, left side, once again. This is the key. And then this is part of the last content part for this document. This bit here, that's the right-hand side of the last content part. Okay? So that's how that works. We can basically sort of copy and paste the content part utility that we use in Haxe. I say copy and paste. It's not quite a copy and paste. Obviously, Odin does things very differently to Haxe. But we can certainly work on using it. So let's go back to our content part. Where did it go? There it is. We have all of these parameter options as well: reference, file path, type reference, additional parts inside the content part. You get the idea. How complicated I make this from now on? Well, I want to simplify it actually. I don't want to make it complicated. I want to simplify the process. That's the whole point of this exercise. The command line interface is meant to simplify things, not make things more complicated. So I'm just going to start with this content part. Left key, right. So let's just do that for now. So we'll have a content part, struct, left is a string, key is a string, right is a string, and then in here we're going to have parts, which is a dynamic array of content part, like that. Should I make this a pointer? Yeah, I think make it a pointer. All right. And then we have output data, which is our template data. Right. This is not a pointer. We don't need that to be a pointer, but I'm going to make this a pointer because we're going to create this stuff on the heap. This is all heap allocated anyway because they're all strings. So it just makes sense to put this on the heap as well. It keeps the memory layout The word I'm looking for. Can't think of the word. I don't know. Sequential, is that the right word? I'm not sure. Sequential memory layout. If that's a thing. I'm sure people understand what I'm talking about. They don't. I'm probably making up gibberish. Whatever. Doesn't matter. We're heap allocating it. I think that would be the best thing to do. Anyway, output JSON path, output data. That's just going to be a simple struct. Right. We need to create this template config somehow. So we're going to templates create. That's going to take a HTML parser. And we also need the path to the original template file string. And we're going to return our template config. Right. So in here, we're going to create our template. Template config like that. Template config. Template config HTML is going to be our parser. And we also want our output JSON path. Now, the one thing that we do not have is the ability to work out which part of the template file is part of the root path and which one it isn't. So I'm going to say template dir or okay, I think I'll do it outside of this. Let's do, oh, I need to import it. Import more strings. People wondering why I'm cloning. I think it's a good idea to clone strings from function arguments or procedure arguments, because we might delete the memory to this sooner rather than later. So we want to make sure that we don't accidentally delete the reference to it. So we always clone temp allocator. Template config dot output data. I'm going to just do this, and then we're going to return template config. Right. Oh, and one other thing which we should probably do, which is going inside of here and make that heap allocated. I mean, when you append to a dynamic array, it automatically heap allocates. It just doesn't initialize until you do that, or you call the make procedure. I always say function. There's not functions in this language. It's procedures. Whatever. Template config.output data.parse. All right. So inside of main, then, go down here. We need our directory. Our directory is this dir here. we want to get. So okay. Oh, we've already got file path. So what I'm going to do then is, let's see, file path. We want oh, excuse me, sorry. Hmm. I'm not actually sure. Um, I think none of this is what I want. I think what I'm going to do is use the strings class instead, because I want to remove the directory part, or the root directory that we supplied to our CLI when we do TWT build, we supply templates slash, right, telling us where to find files inside. So we want to remove that part of the equation. So we can do this pretty easily. I think we can just do this. So we should have some kind of substring method here, which we do. So I'm going to take the substring of f, our file. Rune start is going to be the length of our directory -1. And the rune end which is going to be our len of f -1. We're going to allocate that onto the temporary allocator. Wait. Oh, it doesn't actually allocate. Interesting. Rune start, the start inclusive rune. Okay, yeah. End rune, the end exclusive. Oh, so we didn't actually need to do -1. And then that should be our full file. So file without I just realized how inconsistent I am with my naming convention. Capital P __. Come on, sorry, I'll do that. Always doing that. I always change my naming convention halfway through coding. It's stupid. Stop it. You stop typing so fast. Right. File without dear, I guess. I mean, that's not technically the case. I mean, what is it really? File without root. Let's just do that. I'm just going to print that out for now. And hope that's correct. I think I'll just do it like this. File without root. What was that? Oh. Okay, maybe? Yeah. If okay, we print out. Okay, let's build this. File okay. Do that. Let's see what we get. s/example.twt. Oh. Not quite. We actually need to do that. Actually, +1. Let's double check once again. Okay, so we get the file name, so that's good. So we know that's correct now. So let's do it instead like this. We're not okay. Why is the programmer done? Just in case. I keep it like that. So we need file without roots. That's going inside of our created template. What did we call it again? Oh, right. Template create. So I'm going to call this template config. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? Why is the programmer dumb? It's a good freaking question, isn't it? Calm down. Calm down. It's just a name. It's just a name. I can just tell I'm triggering so many people right now. I'm triggering so many people. I just know it. Template file. File without root. I'll fix this, okay? I'll fix it. Maybe. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Right, we got our template. We got our template config. So, what we want to do now from our template config is generate something. We'll do it in here. So inside of here, I'm going to do template process. Terrible name, but whatever. So we want to get our config, and we're a bit, not taken template config, and we have our template data. So we're taking what's inside here and we're going to put it inside of here, basically, and convert it into content parts. We have, I'm just going to return a boolean, say that it was completed successfully. I'm just going to return true for now. So we have a utility in Haxe that gives us kind of what we need. I think it's in here. Parse parts. I mean, this is more complicated than it needs to be. Really. Truly. More complicated. Um, um, yeah, whatever. Let's just do it from scratch. Okay. Well, we've got HTML parser. So up here, we have tags and we've got fields. Okay. We have inside of tags, we do have things that are field tags. Now, one thing I don't do actually, which I probably should do, is assign a variant to every tag that isn't a field tag, which we don't do. So I'm going to do that right this very minute so that it's assigned a variant so that we can do something with it later. How do I do that? Well, what I'll do is down here, if we return tag here, then I'm going to say tag variant is equal to ampersand tag. Oh, we don't need to do that. It's already a reference. Or alternatively, we'll do it down here. Tag.variant is equal to tag. Why am I doing it in these places? Honestly, it doesn't matter. It's a reference. Can you please activate? It's always doing this. Every single time I do a video, it does this all the time. I mean, we're not printing anything, so it's pretty useless me actually printing. Let me uncomment this so that we can see what's going on. Build.bat. Run this one. Thank you. Really? That's nil, apparently. Why? Oh, because it's just text, that's why. Okay. The text stuff needs to be assigned a variant as well, actually. Where's our text tag? Where is it? Oh, it's in text tag. That's this stuff here. So I need to do this text tag dot variant equal to text tag. Definitely need to do that. Take a reference to itself. What? What? Are we doing it somewhere else as well? Oh yes, I am. Of course. That's why. Okay, let's try that again. Build. Run. What? Really? Seems to be missing something a lot. Still not doing it. Why? Where am I doing it now? Oh, up here. Seriously? I didn't realize how many times I did this. Yeah, text tag. Blimey. How many times? Have I done it any more times? I don't think I have. Not my luck. Probably repeated the same code 3 times. Well, I have repeated it 3 times. Third time's the charm, right? I really shouldn't do that. Refactor when we need to. Okay, this looks better. Thank God for that. Right, we're getting somewhere. That's literally got nothing in it. Printing children of title, nothing. Wait, what? Where's? Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. What's going on? HTML head. Can't. Okay, we got the title, which is here. Title doesn't have text of document inside. Oh, it's because it isn't a document. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. Forget it. Forget it. Forget it. I'm being stupid. This is a field tag. Okay. Field tag. Doesn't show it as a field tag because I haven't printed it like that, but doesn't matter. Anyway, it works. That's all I care about at the moment. So we need to iterate through each tag. Config.tags, config.html.tags. And we're basically going to print the result. Print the result. Don't ask. Well, first of all, we need to check to see if the tag is null because some of them are nil and we don't want to print stuff that's nil. That would be terrible. Then what we want to do is generate a file with our content parts inside. That lives inside our output data. So we want, okay, hold on. Let me think about this. Let's go in here. We've got multiple things in here. Now, the thing is, as I say this, I've just realized I cannot ignore this. I can't. That's actually essential. So that needs to be removed from our parser. Leave. Or no, this one. We cannot ignore that doc type. Just realized. So get rid of this. Get rid of this. If we are a doc type, I am going to do the following. I'm just going to do is doc type ball and doc type data string. And what I'm going to do, right, is the following. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. I do apologize. So, I actually I can just do it a different way. I'm just going to say new tag. Oops. Tag is doc type equal to true. Tag um that the T is taken, so I'm just going to do advanced P. So we're looking at doc type now instead of the exclamation mark. And I'm just going to put in here F. I'm just going to do it like this. It's quite high level, but doesn't matter. Doc type and fax advanced twice. Make it nice and easy for myself. T dot value. And then our allocator is context dot temp allocator. Not sure if that's a good idea, but we'll do it like that anyway. And then we will, well, we'll make it a void through tag. I mean, it's technically not a void tag, but it is at the same time. Kind of weird. It doesn't matter. And we need the variant as well. Variant to itself. And then append. Let's just double check that. P tags tag. Make sure I've done that correctly. Oh. Right. Yeah, I think we're good. Build. Run. Just want to double check, make sure. Still running. Printing children of Neil. Really? Could be printing it, although it doesn't look like we are. What's going on there? Peak exclamation. Advance, so we are on the exclamation. Peak dash, peak 2 dash. Otherwise we do this. Sure. I don't know what's going on. Well, what I'll do is I'll say T advanced T, and I think what I'll also do is consume white space. So what am I doing here exactly? Well, C doc type. In that case, and then we also see the value. Assume it's HTML. For now. I mean, obviously that doesn't take into account any other type of doc type, but most modern HTML templates are just doc type HTML because that's basically the HTML5 declaring that the document is HTML5. Otherwise, we'd have a whole bunch of different information there which we don't really care about. Which we probably should at some point in the future, but yeah, I don't know. Is it worth it? Sure, for W3C compliance, we should probably care. But for now, I'm not going to bother. I mean, is there any point in supporting HTML4 or any of its derivatives? Is there? I don't see a point. Anyway, let's test this. Oh, come on. Oh, why are you doing this to me? We're still empty. I must be doing something wrong here. Let's gonna do something real quick here. Printf. I'm doing a lot of things that I didn't actually want to do, but ended up doing it anyway. Fixing a whole bunch of issues without actually making much progress, but that's coding for you. What is going on exactly? So we are parsing then. Printing children of empty. Why? Oh, we're just printing the children. Of course. It's probably fine. For HTML print hierarchy, when I do this, are we printing tag name and then the tag content? Yeah, I'm not actually printing the tag here, right? Or am I? Yeah, there's no tag.name. And there's no content for it. That's what that nil is there. It looks empty, but it's not. And there's no children for it. So I guess it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have a name. It's a doc type declaration. There is no name for that tag. So technically that is correct. It's just not very useful. It's just not useful. Thanks for that. Whatever. Why is the programmer dumb? Oh, it'll haunt me now. Ah, 1 hour, 10 minutes. That is a long time to make a video. Okay, whatever. I think it's time for bed. Anyway, it's 9:30. So it's practically time for me to go to bed. So that's going to be it for me. That was a video of me ranting and trying to work out how to generate a template and not getting very far with it. Whatever. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you did. Maybe you probably got more entertainment value out of this, out of me whining most of the video than anything else. But regardless, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.